Taiwan, I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Russian President Vladimir Putin says Russia is ready for nuclear war if any country threatens its sovereignty, warning Western countries not to test how far he would go.
Что касается тех государств, которые говорят о том, что у них в отношении России нет никаких красных линий, ну тогда они должны понять, что и в России в отношении этих государств тоже не будет никаких красных линий.
Putin made the comments in an exclusive interview with Russian state television. The remarks come as Western leaders push for more aid to Ukraine. Putin also said if the U.S. sends troops to Ukraine, his country would view them as, quote, interventionists. Farmers in Taiwan's rural southeast are concerned that their town could become a target in the event of a war. That's because of a plan by the military to build a new runway there. Jaime Okan reports.
Fighting for their land. These farmers from Guanshan in Taitung County are protesting plans by the Air Force to build a new runway. They're concerned that a military facility nearby could make them a target if a war broke out. Farmers are also concerned that a new base will bring new rules about what can be built around the runway, affecting their daily lives.
经济面来讲的话，也是一定会影响的，因为它有一个限高限建的这些嘛，这些都是直接和农民都有直接关系的。
Agriculture is one of Taiwan's biggest industries and is vital to the national economy. But faced with a growing threat from neighboring China, which has vowed to take over Taiwan, the military places security as a top priority. Air Force officials say this plan has been in place for a while, and the intent is to raise combat readiness.
那拓宽道路的已经有要征收的计划了，在这样的基础之上呢，我再多增加一点点，尽量减少影响程度之下来设这战备道。这是我们当初在这里设计这个战备道的这个用意。
Long runways are needed for the variety of aircraft that Taiwan's military operates, with fighter jets being crucial to intercepting enemy aircraft. But many in Guanshan say the military should not build in such a densely concentrated agricultural area, and should consider other locations.
说难听一点，给你一个包着糖衣的毒药，要不要拓宽啊？要。那给你拓宽成战备跑道好不好？不好，我绝对反对。你可以往东边再移一点，用河堤共构、陆堤共构的方式。
Locals suggest the military can build a runway at a nearby highway, which would have less of an impact on residents' lives, while still giving the Air Force space for its planes. The Air Force says it's still finalizing where to build the runway, and while defense remains the priority, the military hopes it can do its job while disrupting the lives of civilians as little as possible. John Su and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Another U.S. lawmaker has announced plans to attend the inauguration of Taiwan President-elect Liao in May.
I'll be heading over to Taiwan, to Taipei, with a group in May to celebrate the inauguration.
Representative Andy Barr is a Republican and co-chair of the Congressional Taiwan Caucus. He'll join other U.S. lawmakers at the ceremony, including House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Michael McCall. The U.S. does not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but the two countries maintain a close, unofficial relationship. Taiwan's premier says there are no plans to allow absentee voting in the country despite opposition lawmakers' efforts to update the rules.
要做不在籍投票，我们需要在选务的加强，以及呢如何达成选举的秘密性，而且正确性跟公平性都需要来研议哈。所以目前行政院并没有这方面的规划。
Taiwan mandates in-person voting in people's registered hometowns. Opposition leaders say this makes voting difficult for Taiwanese citizens living abroad or away from home. But ruling party lawmakers argued that without systems in place to validate votes, absentee voting could risk foreign interference, particularly from China, and undermine Taiwan's democracy. Taipei and New Taipei are set to tighten the monitoring of nannies and the groups that hire them out. That's after an infant died in the care of an abusive caregiver, John Van Trieste reports.
It's been 3 months since a 1-year-old boy called Kai Kai, who was set to be put up for adoption, died from abuse by his nanny. But shock over his death isn't going away. The NGO handling his adoption is facing public anger. Its board members have held a press conference to apologize, and they hope to clear their organization of blame.
这个保姆之前跟我们契约照顾的前面的一个孩子还算正常，所以才会第二个社工人员没有办法有事先警觉，非常的内疚。
The organization says checkups in the first 3 months went smoothly, making the child's death in the 4th month a surprise. But the facts of the case are still in dispute. In addition to the nanny, a social worker is facing charges of falsifying documents and negligent homicide. The boy's family says the social worker brushed aside photos showing bruises on his head and missing teeth, with the social worker reporting that he had fallen in the park and ground his teeth too much. And the organization's response to the case, that it is only responsible for adoptions and not managing caregivers, has upset some people, including politicians.
这个说法我们没有办法接受，把安置的责任转介给本案失孕的保姆，这个保姆是由他们来选择的，责任是无法免除的。尤其在这个需要做定期的访视过程当中，他们做了没有？
Taipei Mayor Jiang Wan-an has weighed in on Facebook, saying the city should check up on children under nannies' care at least 6 times a year. Already, it seems the city government is planning to go even further.
维管办理收出养的单位应该要去强化它的访视的一个频率我们建议是1个月至少2次。那至于保姆端的一个县市的主管机关，原来每3个月1次的一个访视，我们会增加为每个月至少1次。
Similar rule changes are in the works in neighboring New Taipei, but this whole case has left Taipei's social workers angry at everyone involved. They say police used excessive force by handcuffing a cooperating suspect and broke privacy rules by parading her past news cameras. They're angry at the media, too, for leaking personal info. They see the Child Welfare League Foundation as deflecting blame that it deserves. And they're angry most of all at local officials.
过到3月已经12的时候，突然间这个社会大众开始哗然说：“哎，怎么会有这件事情的时候？” 他们才跳出来说：“哎，我们要来检讨这件事情，而且检讨的时候，很多的时间是都就是没有去甚至会去责怪社工。”
Feeling slighted and wondering if it could be their neck on the line next time something goes wrong, it's unclear if they will push back on expectations for them to put in more work with more in-person checkups. Ryan Wu and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Stray dogs harming Taiwan's endangered grass owlets have been captured on camera in the south of the country. Our reporter Sandy Chi has the details.
Sensing danger approaching and forced to flee, leaving their young ones behind, then returning to their nest to find only the bodies of their chicks. This heartbreaking footage was captured on camera in Tainan, southern Taiwan.
也可以去推测，就是这个优当犬的行为，它并不是为了觅食，它只是单纯是为了好玩。
These are eastern grass owls, which are endangered in Taiwan. Sad as it may seem, this sort of incident is very common. Taiwan is seeing a rise in cases of stray dogs attacking endemic species like pangolins and Reeves muntjacs. It comes after the government implemented a no-kill policy for abandoned dogs in 2017.
野外或民众通报，看到没有系绳的浪狗，就应该要想办法把它抓起来，然后移置，不应该再让它放在野外，因为野外是野生动物栖息的地方，尤其是珍贵保育类动物。
The situation leaves animal activists struggling to find a balance between the humane treatment of stray dogs and the battle to protect Taiwan's endangered and vulnerable wild animals. Devon Tsai and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, check out these images of France's Mont Saint-Michel surrounded by the highest tides of the year. I'm Liao. Take care and I'll see you next time.